Hi, everybody. I've been noticing a huge shift in energies lately. Not sure if you've noticed or felt it too. It feels like it feels heavy, but it feels like it's lightening things up at the same time. I've actually started feeling some things in my physical body, which are very, I'll say, abnormal. For example, this morning I was buttering an English muffin and it was like a wave hit me. It almost like front and then top went right through my entire body. And I felt for a second that I might vomit and faint, and it was gone as fast as it came. And so the first thing I think is, oh, my blood sugar must be like low or weird. And I'm not diabetic or anything, but I was like, maybe I'm just hungry. But it didn't feel the same as that. That's all I can tell you. So take that or leave it. A few other things I'm noticing with people in my life. Things feel more immense and intense. And when I feel into the different scenarios that are playing out in people's lives around me, what I'm being shown is things are coming to a head. So these people and yourself, if you are also experiencing these very intense periods or moments in your life right now, you're being provided with opportunities to purge, cleanse, and address what it is that you have signed up for healing before you came here. There are things that you wanted to deal with, reconcile, and you are being provided a very strong push and foundation for that to happen for you. Your human mind may think that you're like, why did I sign up for this? This is not what I wanted. I can heal this without having to go through all this, discomfort. Yes, you can do that. However, if you have perhaps subconsciously built this up, what's crashing down around you is actually allowing the steam to escape. You've been in a pressure cooker without realizing you've been doing this to yourself. And this may hit people the wrong way. When I say that you're doing this to yourself, there are maybe some key players in your life currently where it's really difficult or unfathomable to take accountability for yourself and where you are. And it's easier to point the finger at the people that you perceive are causing you this harm and this discomfort. And Spirit is sharing with me. I'm a little reluctant to communicate it because it's uncomfortable, but here we are. We're going to sit in this discomfort together. We are being provided that opportunity to take ownership. We are responsible for our own scenarios that are playing out in our lives right now. If it's feeling immense, intense, it feels like you're stuck, you're stagnant, you're full, and not in a good way. You don't have any room or capacity to handle what is currently happening in your life. You are not alone in that. There are many of us experiencing that right now. It feels like 3/4 of the people this message is for, you'll know it, you'll feel it in your heart space that it's for you, are what you call star seeds or the light workers, whatever noun, adjective, whatever you want to use to describe that. And there's 1/4 of you hearing this that are You have been in a deep sleep and you're waking up right now and you're like, what day is it? For you, that 1/4 of you, your physical body and your mind may feel like they're experiencing some shock. This is normal, and they're telling me to tell you to breathe through it, whether that be actually or like metaphorically, but allowing this to flow through your life, which is very counterintuitive to what you have been doing. The other 3/4 of you understand what I mean when I say to allow this to flow through your life. It does not mean that you have to like it or enjoy it, but when you resist this, what's flowing up and out and simmering off, you create stagnation. Okay? And when we stagnate energy or stagnate things and stagnate flow, gunk builds up, and that creates it. It's almost like a filter, and it's bunging up the filter. So we want that energy to keep flowing through this filter, which is you. You are this filter, essentially, like your matrix, your aura, and you need to allow this flow. Otherwise, it's your choice. You can resist this flow. It will just create more gunk and resistance and like plaque in your arteries. They're showing me all of these different analogies. And it's going to create a more difficult circumstance. Going with the idea of plaque in the blood, in the circulatory system, in your arteries, that can lead eventually, depending on where the plaque builds up in the body, can lead to stroke. It can lead to heart disease. And if we apply this metaphor to our life, the blood represents your life flow, your life force. It represents the plasma, right? We pull our energy, our physical existence from the plasma, the ether, the nothing. And if you experience heart disease or stroke, how that looks metaphorically in your life is separation and misalignment with oneself, like feeling like you're not you, feeling totally misaligned, having events and actions happening in your life that cause extreme grief and heartache, which is mirroring back to you how you've been treating yourself, what you believe you are worthy of, and what needs to come in. That is what that resistance creates. And with the stroke aspect, it literally is creating, it's twofold. It will create the perception that you're even further from source, from home, from that higher connection. But at the same time, what it does is it hones in and refines what you have access to, because you maybe haven't been using or seeking that clarity on your own. So parts of your brain or your existence will shut down so that you can only see what needs to be addressed right here, right now. Another thing that they're asking me to speak about right now is there is and are and will be many people physically transitioning from this plane very soon. It will come in the form of the older generation, more naturally that way, but also with some natural disasters that are upcoming. This is not to create fear. This is to create awareness so that there is not this energy around chaos and fear when these things are occurring. These are things that certain souls have signed up for their own growth, but also to help shift the collective consciousness. And again, providing opportunity for those of us that are not transitioning out of the physical body yet to visit how we perceive our physical existence and what it means to transition or to die, or right, to leave that physical body, and to rewrite the narrative of what loss, death, grief, etc. is. For some of us that are remaining here, you will notice that the people, if there's someone close to you leaving, the parts of them that are more integrated or healed are going to leave the physical plane. So the parts of the person that are still asking for healing or reconciliation will remain here. What that means is you, for example, they're telling me like people with dementia, that's an example. Or people that are undergoing severe illness and hardship, we will see the parts of them shine that haven't come out in a very long time because they've been repressed. And before they exit, this is the last hurrah or opportunity for these things to come up and out. It's funny, the word they're giving me is for renewal. It's like, even though they're exiting, it's like there's a renewal happening while they're prepping for the transition out of the physical body. So I find that interesting. It's weird. I thought I was going to go into deep trance, but they're just giving me stuff as I go. I wasn't sure what this video was going to be about exactly. I just knew there was a lot of stuff coming in, and I'm just going to go with whatever's happening. And again, take what resonates. Leave the rest. If something I'm sharing is just not jiving with you, that's perfectly okay. I'm not the only person on the internet doing this stuff, and it's important that you tune into what resonates with you at this time. Some of the things I speak about may come into your field a little bit later, and this is just a little exposure momentarily to introduce topics, plant some seeds. And for some of you, it may be a way to almost cycle break. So there's been programming or thoughts that you've been running for a very long time, and we all do that. And sometimes what spirit will share through myself and other people that are willingly sharing with the public through their own abilities, because what I do and all these other people do is not special to any of us. We all have this innate capability. But it's just kind of disrupting the cycle of these loops that we keep replaying because we are addicted to them. We rely on them. It's the devil that we know. And it's time to release that part, that lower part of us. It has served us. And by release that part of it, it doesn't mean to box it away and shove it away or go, nope, bye-bye, I'm letting it go, release, it's gone forever. It means allowing it full and complete integration. So allowing that energy, that thought form, that, what do you call it, hitchhiker or entity attachment, however it manifests for you in your world, because we all experience energy and healing differently. And that's what makes this a beautiful place. Allowing it full and complete integration, which might be some shadow work on yourself and acknowledging these are parts of you. It may be just acknowledging these entities that are separate from you and telling them, look, this is how it's going to be. I see what you're doing. I see why you're trying this. I understand. I can see that because I can see with a compassionate lens. This is not serving me. It did. It no longer does. And you don't have the power here. I have the power here. And if you are going to stay, you are also shifting your frequency up and out, and you are going to be a different version of yourself. Or you can, to say this is entity or energy or being that's attached, or you may leave. Otherwise, buckle up, because this is where we are going. And then that energy or entity will make its own choice, and you're allowing it free will and providing love and compassion for it. And it will go, or it will transform and level up alongside you. And when that does happen, either way, if it decides to move on somewhere else, you don't really need to worry or think much more about it. If it decides to stay and level up, it will naturally detach, because when you shift your frequency up and do the healing, if it wants to stick around, and because it is leveling up as well, it realizes it no longer needs to latch on and grows, and then again automatically detaches. They're giving me the word leech, like it's a leech detaching off of you, right? You're creating that saline, salty environment, or that. Nope, they're saying no. They're saying it's more like heat, like the flame, like the fire of your soul getting so hot that it can't hold on anymore. It needs to hold its own resonance, but you're showing and modeling. So that being energy entity is learning from you and you're teaching it. That is another thing that I've had shared with me in my own personal meditations, and in a recent hypnosis session I had with, it might have been with Tina recently as well, the one I posted most recently with her. Anyways, these higher dimensional energies and beings that myself and others, and maybe yourself, interact with they are a higher frequency than us, yes. But we are entering the era as humans where we will stop seeing it as so hierarchical and see it as they're no different than we are. This is good. It's good to practice the humility, but how do I want to say this? They have a life just like we do. They have family. They have things they do every day. Perhaps some of them don't eat or sleep, but they have connections. They have like a societal structure. And when we operate at a certain frequency, we are able to connect with them. It's that easy. It's like literally when you're at a certain frequency, it's like you radiate these radio waves, we'll call it, right? Different stations. And they fluctuate all the time, all throughout the day. There's like a baseline one that you're kind of like at all the time. It's like your strong frequency, the undertone. And there's all these other frequencies, like micro frequencies, that come off of you throughout your day. This is how manifesting works, and all that's, the secret and all that stuff. This is also how you connect with other forms of consciousness. And these other forms of consciousness are both parts of you, because we are all one. And so when you're connected with other forms of consciousness, you're in that unity consciousness. But these other forms of consciousness are both parts of you and parts of the all-in-one. That is why multiple people can channel the same entity or being. And sometimes the messages are similar and sometimes they're slightly different or adjacent, because these people are tapping into specific frequencies of those levels of consciousness. For example, if you are speaking with, we'll say, Archangel Michael, and 5 other people are doing the same thing, all those people are tapping into a specific frequency of Archangel Michael that is in the highest or most entrenched or deepest alignment of their own frequency. That is why you'll get some similar yet different messaging, because you are tapping into the different frequencies or levels of the consciousness that we identify as Archangel Michael. Hopefully that makes sense. The reason this is important for you to, this is really important, they're highlighting it. This is important for you to know and understand, is because you, if you already are not tuned into them, are going to be receiving more messages from higher aspects of you or consciousness in general. And you are being invited to not resist these and to not second guess what is happening because someone else said something different. What you are receiving is exactly what you need to be receiving in that moment. And yes, it might change as you shape and grow. It definitely will change. That's the whole kind of why we're here sort of thing. And it's going to further enhance your ability to discern. And what discern what? To discern what it is that you want to bring in and what you want to allow to flow or filter out. And it's honing in on your sovereignty as a human in physical form. They are tightening, clamping down on our ability to exercise our sovereignty with our thoughts, our emotions, which will translate also to our actions. There are a lot of you that are aware that you're a sovereign being, but your actions and thoughts regarding sovereignty are still very fear-based. They're still very us versus them. They're still war mentality because that's the template that you know. There is no judgment on this. This is to create awareness for you so that you can take what you have been doing and learned as a sovereign being and person who has awakened. They're showing me it doesn't just mean these people, but a large portion are people that woke up during COVID. We have, I don't want to say all the catchphrases and terms because I feel like this video will be flagged or just, I don't want to, this isn't here to upset people. This is just for me to share what's coming through from spirit. People that were for and against certain medical interventions during early 2020s, for people that are concerned about what's being put in the skies, in our food, certain, we'll say conspiracy theories that are out there. It does, I'm not, and they are not saying that none of those things are happening. They're not saying that. What Spirit wants me to share is have action in your life physically, but have that action be with compassion and with sovereignty and with, it feels like a solidity, and it's not us versus them as an attack back on these things that you wish to shed. It's to stand your ground as a sovereign being using discernment and allowing the flow of the things you wish to release or not see anymore in your reality. Those things will go on their own. When you engage with these things, with that fear-based mentality or warlike mentality of us versus them, or act in fear, you are actually attaching yourself to those things because the part of your identity is saying, I am needing this thing to mirror for me and for me to have something to interact with, to fight against. When you no longer have something to fight against or to resist, it removes that gunk from your filter or the plaque from your arteries of your life and allows more life force, more flow, more clarity, more intelligence to come in. Intelligence meaning like smart, but also information that you are not able or ready to receive because you've been blocking it with this fear-based rhetoric and action that you've been taking. So Spirit wants me to invite those of you that have already awakened to what's happening, and to not worry if there's stuff in the sky, if there's stuff flowing in yours or other people's veins and arteries, blood. But knowing that the choices you make matter, yes, but it's how you make those choices that matters even more. I'm going to leave it there. So I hope that got across to you in a way that makes sense and you can integrate. And it's really about allowing others to have their journey. And when we push and force others to follow the way we've been going, because we can see what's going on, you want to shake them and go, oh my God, are you not seeing this? Like, what's wrong with you? That shuts them down. Because your frequency is so amplified and it's interfering with the other person's frequency, right? And when that happens, they kind of tune out. They're like, what is going on? It's a distorted message. It doesn't get across in the way that you are intending it to. So there's something to be said for meeting people where they're at. And you are not here, and I am not here to convince anyone of anything. You are here to have your journey, and through having your journey, you naturally model the appropriate behaviors, and also you will naturally radiate or emanate these frequencies of your thought forms and emotions. They come off of you naturally. You can't physically see them. Well, some people can, but most of us can't. Excuse me. But we can all sense and feel them from each other. Even those of you that maybe don't identify as someone who is super duper connected to spirit or very spiritual, you do pick up on these, even if it is subconsciously. So that being said, try to surround yourself with those that match your vibrational frequency. It doesn't mean those people around you have to think like you. I have friends that I have a totally different opinion on certain things than they do, but we are able to hold compassion for each other and understanding that essentially we are living in our own reality, and we allow each other to have their journey with harm to none, because we know at the end of the day, it will be sorted out. And it doesn't mean like, oh, it doesn't matter. It does matter. The choices you make in your life for you matter. The thoughts you think matter. How you think those thoughts matters. Your emotions you feel matter. How you interpret, feel, and navigate your emotions is the most important of all. That is your foundation. That is your base. That is tied into your subconscious, which runs your whole life here as a human. And as you awaken to your subconscious, you awaken to much more than just the person that you are here that identifies as whatever your name is. Insert name here. I'm going to leave that alone as well. So that's my video for this week. It felt very important that I get on here and I share something with you. I didn't know what it was going to be. If you enjoy this content, please like this video. Please subscribe. I am also entertaining the thought of doing a membership or community on my YouTube channel, so that we can take, I'm not sure if I want to call it a deeper dive, but cover more content, like things I've covered here today, but we could just really break apart some of these things and go a bit deeper, and maybe doing some kind of live, sometimes like chats and things more informal, just kind of hanging out and sharing with each other. And what that does is it helps us all again to feel out the different radio stations and tunes that are available to us, use discernment, and understand that we're all sovereign and all on a journey that we're all adjacent to each other, but we're all in it together at the same time. Like there's this paradox that we live within, and we're learning to embrace and embody that. That's going to help a lot, especially in the next like couple of years. I can really feel that. I'm also looking at doing some regular group hypnosis or past life regressions. So it's based on the Dolores Cannon method. I'm a quantum healing hypnosis technique practitioner. I'm a level 2 at this time. And doing those group regressions, I find helps people to further tap into their ability to get information and channel and receive messages. And it's also just a really fun thing to do. It's kind of fun, explorative, a curiosity thing for some people as well. So I was thinking about doing those more regularly and doing some deep trance channeling because that is something that I'm stepping more and more into. And I want to do that in a place where I feel safe. I don't feel that needs to be put out all over the internet. I want that in a space where those who share more similar vibration or frequency of my own are there to help amplify that signal and filter out the people that maybe don't want to be part of that. And that is perfectly okay. There is no judgment. I just need to have a space where I can do that and know that I have the best, reception for that information to come through. So if this has sparked anything for you or helped you to realize something that you've been doing, saying, or thinking, or sensing, please share it in the comments below. It's so good to get conversation going about what we're all experiencing, because we can all feel something big is happening right now. And we need to stop gaslighting ourselves or negating that. And it doesn't mean we need to be dramatic, like, oh my God, so much is happening. The shift is here. And it's not about that. It's about feeling heard and knowing we're not alone and offering each other that support through this, whatever it is we're having right now. I mean, we're living life, human life, and we might as well have fun doing it, and why not enjoy it with community and support. I know some of you, it's hard to speak about this stuff because maybe you're not comfortable or you don't have people in your life, or it's just easier to do it online because you can hide, feeling safe, no one knows who you are, you kind of be more anonymous, whatever it is, I don't care. Just share what's going on. I'm going to continue to do this. And if I do a community membership thing too, I'll share more of me personally, the less shiny version of me, because I'm no different than any of you. And I've got my stuff going on in my life too. And I think it's really great to be authentic and genuine, because it's my personal belief in knowing that resonance supersedes all other resonance. If you're being authentic and genuine, then it just amplifies the healing and the messages and the ability for us to just do amazing, amazing things. Have a wonderful day.